Oh, here we go. Going live. Sunday. Seats are just $10. Pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Alright. You guys missed those old monster truck commercials? I got a lag going on here. There's always a lag going on. It's like a 10-second lag. 15-second lag. Alright. I'm on a little early. Want to make sure everything is working correctly. I got some stuff I want to go over. So yeah, I got the chat over here, so we should be able to see the chats. We have the right now we have my YouTube, but I'm gonna go over some other things. Hello, how are you? Yeah, just trying to figure this out. We're gonna talk about some stuff. I'm gonna wait for some more people to join, but you guys can see what I see. And so when I'm in this mode, I can see myself in the live chat, but when I come over here, I can't see the chat anymore. I can only see my computer screen. I don't even see myself in the bottom right corner like you guys do. So how is everybody today? We're going to talk about coffee, yeah. Mountain Dew for me. I forgot to bring it over here. Broadcasting service, I use OBS. I forgot to bring my Mountain Dew over here. Tell I'm a rookie. Not all the way ready. But what I'm using is I use OBS to switch between everything. North Carolina, how's it going? Yeah, so I was just telling everybody, when I'm in this mode right here, I can see myself, just like you guys can, and then I can see the live chat, so I can see what you guys see. Smooth Sunday, yeah. But when I come over here and I'm in my Google Chrome, I can't see you guys' chats anymore, so that's something you can keep in mind as you're asking questions or doing what you need to do. The weather is cold for April. I think the high today is like 50, maybe like in the 50s, I think. And so yeah, for April that's really cold. We had snow all the way up until just a couple weeks ago, and so it is chilly. No, I don't have a second monitor. I only have my laptop. I'm running everything off my laptop. And so I have my Canon T5i, which is what I started YouTube on. That's what I'm using as my webcam. And then I have this Toron microphone that I just got recently and I'm learning how to use. So hopefully you can hear me alright. And then, yeah, just my Dell laptop, and I'm running everything through it. And so it's working. You guys can probably hear the fan going in the background. So yeah, California, we're coming in nationwide. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. There's a couple things I want to talk about today. I want to talk about why I started the channel. I want to talk about Patreon, because I did start a Patreon. And I didn't have it set up. I didn't have anything. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know anything about it. And yeah, it was just nothing. And then all of a sudden I got my first patron, and yeah, they started donating, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta set this thing up. So I set it up as fast as I could. So I want to talk about that. But first, the reason I started my channel, I want to show you guys this. I saved a couple of sites here, and so this here is what drives me nuts. And so you can see this is what you need for a successful camping trip. And they have things like a VW camper van tent, because if you don't have one of those, you'll never make it, you know. Or a BioLite wood burning camp stove, a 5-gallon solar shower, a disco bed portable bunk bed, Aquabot sports water bottle, and that's it. That's all you need. If you have like these 5 or 6 things, you know, you're good to go. You got it made, right? Well, who doesn't have a VW tent, right? And so yeah, it's things like this that it's hard to find good gear, you know, especially when you got websites like this that are just showing off the most expensive things possible that probably don't work. They probably aren't the best quality. There's overpriced novelty items, basically, just like this one, you know, how to enjoy a good hike. So our essential summer hiking gear, you got a pair of boots that are $160. You have a pullover that's $220. You have a pair of sunglasses that are $250. You have a backpack that's $130, and that's what they say you need. Those are their top picks. Those are things that you really need, and you don't need all that fancy stuff. Yeah, you need that tent, the VW tent. Yeah, nobody needs that stuff, you know. I might have been in the wrong thing, but you know, you're looking at this stuff, and it's like $250 for a pair of sunglasses. Like, I understand, you know, if they were like bulletproof or something, but there's a lot of this stuff you don't need. And so I started my channel because I was kind of, or you'll see those survival kits all the time that they try to sell you, that has like a little tiny folding knife, a Bic lighter, and maybe like a wax piece of paper for fire starter. And it's a bunch of junk that they try to sell you. And it was driving me nuts, because one, I didn't know the right questions to ask when I first started to get the quality gear. So I ended up buying a lot of junk and wasting a lot of money just so that I could learn what not to buy before I could invest in that good gear. And yeah, when it comes to just being comfortable and happy in the woods and relax and enjoy yourself, you don't need that expensive gear. You don't need a lot of that stuff. And so that's kind of what fueled me to start this channel, and it's kind of what motivates me to keep making videos. You know, I try to make videos that are informative. You know, I try to teach you from my mistakes so that you're not wasting a lot of your money like I did. Yeah, and so yeah, so hopefully moving forward with the channel, I get a lot of great questions and comments from you guys. A lot of my videos come from you guys that watch the channel. And so I got a cold, I'm sorry, but a lot of you guys have questions that I used to have when I started, and that's what I make my videos on. And I try to make them as simple and easy to follow as I can. And so if you guys have any comments or questions or anything, I tell you to leave it in that comment section down below, because it really does help. It helps me and it helps everybody else watching, because the knowledge doesn't stop at the end of the video like it does a lot of other channels, you know, where they share their thoughts and what their ideas are, and then that's just what they give you. Where I want my channel to be more I'll tell you what I think and feel, but then in that comment section, you can get even more knowledge and even more ideas from the people that have added. We're a pack of like-minded people. There's no reason why we all can't learn and grow together. Yeah, you don't have a $550 knife? I guess you got to stay home. You're not allowed to go hiking if you don't have, or those $260 pair of sunglasses. If you don't have a $260 pair of sunglasses, I guess you just got to stay home. Yeah, I don't know what they think when they make these. I know what they're thinking. They're just trying to make the most commission as possible off their product. You'll click on it and it's an affiliate link and they'll make a commission, but people like us that know what they're doing, no one should ever click on that stuff. You know what I mean? It's all these people that just want to show off that click on that stuff, where you don't need all that fancy stuff. Can't live stream, no service. Yeah, I can't wait to take Hayden camping. My son, he loves camping. It's one of his favorite things. High-end knife. Yep. Yeah, I got a high-end knife. But the thing is I bought a lot of cheap knives so that I knew what exactly I wanted before I spent the money on this. I got the more Bushcraft Black and the whoa. Sorry guys, put you back. And my companion, this one was a little more expensive, but this is the Dave Canterbury Scorpion. This is all I have right here. But yeah, you even can see in a lot of my knife videos where I'm talking about knives and I have a spread, you'll see that $50 is kind of where I tried to keep it for a really long time. And yeah, $50. Yep, and yeah, $50 is where I tried to keep it for a really long time. And then this, I'm a really big fan of Dave Canterbury, and so when I got to buy his signature knife, I spent the money on that. There was only 100 of these made, so I got suckered into that marketing. And yeah, and then I knew I wanted the Larry Roberts knife. I knew I wanted a Genesis. I wanted the LT Wright Genesis, and then Larry Wright came out with his little mouse on it, and I jumped on it. And yeah, but again, I didn't just go out and buy it because it was a Larry Roberts knife. I knew I wanted the Genesis because of those $50 knives that I practiced and did my research on. And then I went and I bought something that I knew I was really going to love, and I do really love this knife. Trailer 2 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, my parents have a camper, and they've been using that, so yeah, they like to go, they camp in a camper. They don't camp out in a tent like I do. Yeah, the Bushcraft Black is a really good knife. What do I think of the Scorpion? I haven't used it. To be honest with you, I bought it because it was a Dave Canterbury. The handle isn't very comfortable, to be 100% honest with you. This part right here is too thin. So where this finger groove is, it's too thin. And so where my hand wants to be, it doesn't want to go into that hole. So and if I squeeze this handle really hard to really power cut or something, I get cramped up because this is too thin, and then this bump right here doesn't line up in my hand where it should. It lines up kind of almost on my middle finger, but not quite on my middle finger. And it's just a weird handle shape, so I don't really use it. But again, you live and you learn, I guess. Thinking of getting one yourself? Yeah. Pay attention to that handle. The Condor Bushlore has the same thing, but it's not as deep. It's a lot fatter, And so the Condor bush floor is actually a lot more comfortable, in my opinion, in my experience. That's what I think. I had a Bacher bushcrafter knife. Yeah, I like the Bushcraft Black. I use it for a long time. You can see it's worn out. But yeah, it's a good knife. It's not full tang, and you do gotta kind of be careful with it. I don't like the belt clip. I don't like this whole thing. I'm always scared that the little tab that holds the belt clip on is gonna break inside there, and I'm gonna lose my knife. But other than that, the knife itself I really like. And then yeah, but that brings me back to Patreon. So before, I'm sorry, I keep hitting everything, but before, okay, so you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, my website, you know, all these different things. And it's hard. I'm trying to keep up with all of them, and I end up not doing anything on any of them. Because it's too much, right? And so what I decided to do is I was going to start a Patreon, and then my patrons come first. So if you have any thoughts, ideas, want to ask me anything, the very first thing I'm going to do every morning whenever I have a chance to check my phone or something, I'm going to check Patreon. And so you're the guys that are going to kind of mold and change the channel. You know, when I have questions, I'm gonna ask Patreon instead of posting it on 5 different platforms and hoping somebody likes it. My patrons are gonna get all my questions. Like the other day I had a logo, 1, 2, or 3 logo thing on my Facebook, and I got some good feedback, but I didn't get a lot of feedback. And then like I'll do some things on Twitter, and sometimes Twitter gets a lot of comments and sometimes it doesn't get any. And you know, and I can't keep up with everything. And so from as soon as I can get my Patreon kind of established a little bit, you guys, the people on Patreon are gonna get all my questions. All your questions are gonna be answered. We're gonna be like the main pack of the channel. And then the website is gonna be all my favorite videos, all my best stuff. I'm gonna try to put all my best stuff on the website, and so you guys can just go there for the good stuff. And so that's the idea behind that. And then Facebook, Twitter, and all those other social medias, I'm still gonna check in on, you know, but they're not gonna be a main priority, you know, because I kind of burnt out. I'm trying to keep up with all these different things, and I end up just not doing a very good job on any of them. And so I'm going to try to have specific reasonings for specific things now. And so if you go to my Patreon, all the links should be in the description box below this video. Everything I talk about should be down there, except for the stupid websites that I'm talking about and the other things that I'm going to bring up later. But yeah, and so eventually I'm gonna go live the last Sunday of this month and probably next month. But as soon as I get a few more patrons, I'm gonna go live on Patreon only, because then I don't have to deal with the trolls and the haters and all the people that, you know, because there are people that literally make YouTube accounts just to hate on people's live streams. Like I see it all the time. Like you'll see like the real Maury Povich or the real Barack Obama, you know, and they're just people that come into live streams and just tear them apart. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't like dealing with that. And so if you're a patron, even if it's just $1, you know, you get access. And I know that you're there for the right reasons. You know, you're there to hear what I have to say and contribute and be a part of everything. And I think that's going to be a lot nicer experience for not only myself but everybody else that's involved. Yeah, this microphone, honestly I bought it because it looked nice, but it was $45, I think. It's a toner microphone kit. So it came with the audio interface, the microphone, the shock mount, the pop filter and the arm. So I got a retractable arm here for $45, and so it was very, very inexpensive. And I like the sound quality. It does better than the microphone on my laptop, just like I'm using my T5i, my Canon DSLR, for my webcam. Sorry guys, I got a cold. I know I sound funny. But yeah, it's not expensive. And that's some of the things that I want to get into on Patreon as well, because I know a lot of you guys have your own YouTube channels. So if you want some of my tips and tricks and advice, you know, there's a good place. Like I said, Patreon's going to be a place where it's just it's going to be a bunch of friends hanging out. It's not going to be like a social media, you know. And so that's what I hope for. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I have lots of hopes and dreams. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't understand the whole process behind the trolls. I know. I do ignore the trolls. There are people that just hate, just to hate. Like I never, like I know that there's like mean people, but I never realized how mean people could be until I started YouTube. Oh no. My camera turned off. Hang on. First time streaming glitches. So let's see if I can get that back. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Of course there's issues on my first stream here. Alright, so it timed out on you guys. So let's see if I can get it back. Oh, embarrassing. I did like 30 tests on this thing to make sure that it was gonna work. Now it's not showing up. Dang trolls. There it goes. See me again? See me? See the web? Perfect. Perfect. Alright, I'm back. You should be able to see me again. My camera must short out after so long. Trolls, yeah. I don't... People, I mean, they just say mean things. Like, you can tell it didn't... I could put out the best video in the world. They don't care. They just are out to be mean. You know? Yeah, the haters, they come, the bigger you get. Light the out. Yeah, the audio's good, great. I'm glad. But yeah, they come in and they say they just say like the one guy said that I have like my haircut, or he was talking crap about my haircut, and I always wear my hat. You guys never see my hair. And I got people talking crap about my hair. I got people talking crap about, like, I'll be reviewing a knife and they're all like, that knife's a piece of junk. Why is it a piece of junk? And then they don't respond back. They don't tell you anything. And it's like, what? I don't understand your process behind all this. Yep. Oh yeah, this is my first live stream. It's not my first live stream. I've gone live on my phone before, but this is the first time I'm using like OBS and doing the different things. Yeah, it's yeah, people. But my Patreon, we should be able to avoid that, and we should be able to hang out and have a really good time over there. And then also my giveaways are moving over there and everything. My first giveaway, I can set goals, and so there's tiers, and so whatever you donate puts you in a different tier. And then there's goals, and so when we reach the first goal, I'm actually giving away a Larry Roberts Genesis. So this will be the first knife giveaway that we get. The my first Patreon, Rick P, the one that found my Patreon before there was nothing on it. There was literally not a thing on it. And so he donated, and I was like, crap. And so then I got it all figured out, and he's already got it at 1%. We're already 1% of the way there before we get to do that giveaway. And then I have another goal set where I'm going to do another giveaway, but then that one we're going to have a poll. So we're going to have like 4 or 5 knives in a poll, and then you guys are going to vote which one you think would be a good prize, and then that's the one that we're going to give away. And so hopefully we can just have a really good positive experience on Patreon. And then my website's going to have all my favorite stuff on it. So I do have posts, and I have a lot of videos. So like my favorite videos, or like the ones that I think are going to help people the most, are on my website. And then my blog posts that I think are going to help people are on the website as well. And so I'm really excited about that. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I know. You know the now I can't think of his name. The George Carlin, the 7 bad words you can't say on TV. That's exactly what I have in my block list. I watched that, and then I copied the 7 bad words you can't say on TV, that skit that he does, and then I put those 7 bad words in the block list. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to prevent trolls, but they sneak in. They always somehow sneak in, or they just say mean things really nicely. Yeah, yeah, That's the first. That knife's gonna be the first giveaway on the Patreon. And then, like I said, I'm going to have a lot more knife giveaways over there. And it's just going to be a more fair way of doing it, I think. Because then I know that the people that win it are going to earn it. Like, they deserve it. It's not just going to be these giveaway sharks that just come in and try to win stuff so they can sell it. YouTube is showing me a lot of stuff that I don't like in people. But I think I found a way around all that. And so that's what I'm hoping for. How's it going? Yep, I'm live. Another thing I want to talk to you guys. Okay, so we talked about that. We talked about the Patreon. We talked about this being my first live. My setup. We've talked about that. And then state land. I'm looking for state land that I can go and stay at for free and not have to pay to camp like I do when I'm on the river. And so I used to camp, so I can show you this. So now we gotta go to the website, and then I have to go to the website. So now I can't see your guys' chat. No, we talked about the stuff and how people post the most random stuff that they think that you need. What you need for a successful camping trip. The camper tent, the VW camper van tent, the BioLite stove, the 5-gallon shower, the disco bed portable bunk bed, the Aquabot sports bottle, and that's it. You have these things and you will succeed in camping. You'll be the best camper ever, especially if you have this tent that's probably takes like 6 people to put up. And then you got all this expensive stuff that they try to sell you. This $220 hoodie, $260 glasses, or $250 glasses just to go hiking. Like if you want to hike, this isn't to spend the night. This is just a hike in the woods. And so, yeah, you don't need all that stuff. That's why I started my channel. I'm sick of people that say you need all this expensive stuff. But right here is the Lions State Forest if you go to Google Maps. And so if you go to Google Maps, you can see it looks like a big, large chunk of state land, which was great back in the day. But you look at it now, so you can see the outline. The green is what's left. So like around this lake, this white is township. There are people that live in this white. And all this other white, they sold it to personal people. And so there's not much left of it that's still state land that I can disperse camp at. And then I told you that it got harvested. Well, there's this big section right here, this really big section. That's the part that got harvested. And so I have all these little tiny chunks here and there, and they're hard to find, and they're, and so that's why I complain about it so much. Because if you Google it, it looks big, great, wonderful, but once you break it down and you see what it really is, it's not as wonderful as it seems to be. And so that's what's been hurting me so far. That's why I haven't been able to get out as much as I like, because the campsites that I stay at close in the winter, and they're getting expensive. You got to pay every night to stay there. And so I'm trying to find state land that I can disperse camp at. And the dispersed camping in that state land that I used to go to isn't available anymore. Like, they harvested it, and they took all the trees, and so I don't know. But I did find some different land. And so this is the Chippewa National Forest. And so here we have Google Maps again, and you can see it's even bigger and even farther away than the other land. But it is huge, and it does have campgrounds in it. So if I get there and I can't find land, I can still go to one of these campgrounds and camp there. So I shouldn't be deterred from camping. But it's hard to find a map like this that actually shows the real land layout in this camping or in this state land. And so I've already been here a few times, and like I said, when I did those winter hiking trails, I was in this state land, and they didn't allow camping. They only allowed camping in specific parts of the trail. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna combat that, but that's the goal for this year. This year I'm gonna try to go out there as much as I can, and I'm gonna try to find a location that has the 4 W's, so water, wood, good weather, and widowmakers. I'm going to try to find a clearing that I don't have to worry about any of that. It's going to have a lot of resources. It's going to have the ability for me to camp out there and do what I need to do all year round. And that's the goal for the channel this spring, summer, and fall, even though spring came super late. Like I was saying earlier, the snow only melted a few weeks ago. And usually it's April showers bring May flowers, and it was snowing most of April. Yeah. From Georgia, we're going nationwide with this live stream. The northern spot has some water. Yeah, but the water in the Lions, this is what you're talking about. This is what I assume you're talking about. So if you go to the Lions and you go to the water, you can see that the lakes have white around them. It's because it's people's property, and so the people live on the lake. So I can't get access to those lakes. There is a little stream here, but again, it's hard to get to. There is no roads or trails to it. There's no parking. There's no, so I'd have to get dropped off and hike it. And it's hard for me and Caroline to both get the same time off so that she can drop me off. Yeah, I don't know. I hate that they butchered that land too. When they went and they cleared it out for wood, they chopped down all the trees. They just cleared it out, and they cleared it out like chest high. Like, it's like they took the chainsaw and just wah, 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 and like everything's like chest high. They didn't even go all the way down to the base or anything. It was like everything was just chest high. Yeah, I don't know. It bummed me out. If you've been watching the channel for a long time, you know that it bummed me out. And because I talk about it all the time, probably more than I should, but nationwide. This live stream's going crazy. We're having glitches with the camera, talking about weird stuff, but yeah, we're getting it. I'm doing it. I'm doing good. Doing really good. I was nervous doing this live stream. I was excited. Here, you want a YouTube trick? This is a trick that if you watch everybody that goes live, they always go to their they usually they're on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I like YouTube in dark mode, but they always have their YouTube in white mode, and I learned why kind of by accident, just because I did it wondering. So you can see how much better I look lit up from the white than the black. And so you can see how the white makes me look better, where if I switch it back to black, it's a lot darker and I don't get as lit up. So that's a little trick that I learned already. Cause yeah, I did like 30 tests before I went live. I got this on Monday, and from Monday till today, I've been using it every single day. I've been using this camera too. This camera and mic setup. I've been testing the crap out of it because I didn't want to screw up this live stream. They do. Well, see, when they harvest, they're supposed to plant, for every tree they take, they're supposed to plant 3 more. But they just plant seeds, you know. And so, I don't know. I don't know what it doesn't look like they did it the way they were supposed to. But I don't know enough to, you know, I don't work for the tree service. I don't work for the lumber service to know if they did things legitly or not. But in my eyes, with my general perspective of things, it doesn't seem to me like they did it the way they should have. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you today. I want to talk to you about these stupid websites. This is why I started my channel. Because you don't need a VW camper van tent to enjoy yourself in the woods. You probably will enjoy yourself less in this than a cheap little Ozark Trail tent that, yes, it's not made for the elements and it's not going to hold up in a big rainstorm or stuff. But if you're first starting out, you're probably not going to go out in the rain. You're probably going to watch the forecast. You're going to make sure that it's sunny and 75 and going to be beautiful that weekend. And so the little Ozark Trail tent is going to be easier to set up. It's going to keep you just as comfortable, if not more comfortable, than this. And you're not going to be spending top dollar for it. Same with the BioLite stove. The BioLite stove is one of the most expensive wood-burning stoves on the market. I own one. I don't really care for it, to be honest. But you don't need this to go camping. I'll do a video on the BioLite stove. I have a video of the BioLite stove, but I think I'm going to redo it because it was one of my first videos and it's not good. But, you know, these bunk beds, you go buy an air mattress. You don't have to spend the hundreds of dollars that these things are. I know they're at least $100. You don't have to spend $100 on bunk beds. You just go get a cheap air mattress. Because like I said, you're going to be camping in the middle of summer when it's summer and 75 and beautiful out. Air mattress is going to do you just as well, if not better, than these bunk beds. And of course, any water bottle will do. You don't need the Aquabot spraying your dishes clean. And so, yeah, that's why I started my channel, because I bought the BioLite stove. I got pitched into that marketing, you know, it's the fire charges your phone. Awesome. I need it. And I spent a lot of money on it, and I don't ever use it. I've literally used it like twice. And now the battery's dead on it. And so it's hard to get the fire going because it's hard to get oxygen in there. And yeah, it's not my favorite piece of kit. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully with this channel, And with your guys' help, we can create, you know, I got my Amazon affiliate. And so you can see if I can find. That's not what I want. Let's see if I can find my website here. We just gotta go to the website. And so with this, my gear. So this list right here too. A lot of this stuff is videos that I've done, but some of it is recommendations from you guys. You guys have told me about some really cool things that you wanted on this list, so that people can come on here and they don't have to waste their money on dumb stuff. You know, they're not going to go out and buy a $50 Bud K knife that looks super cool when they can get a quality knife for $33. Right? And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to put, you know, I could put a lot of high dollar stuff on here and try to make the commissions like those other people, but that's not helping anybody. Like, my goal is to make sure that people have a place that they can go where they can get stuff like an easy drinker and not have to spend top dollar on other things, you know. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. So if you have any tips or tricks or comments or stuff that you think that people would really save money on and enjoy just as much as the expensive stuff, this is what I'm trying to do for this as well. So yeah, I'm trying to build a thing. Oh, you guys didn't see it because I forgot to switch over. So this is, here it is. Still getting used to this live thing. So yeah, this is the store here. It's got stuff in it. This is the easy drinker I was talking about. Nah, yeah. I just want to help people. I want to make sure that they don't get burnt like I did, because I do. I have a lot of stuff that I spent a lot of money on that I hate, that doesn't work, and it's junk. Yeah. See, I think, cause yeah, they did. It's like they didn't want to bend over, you know. So they just went wah 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 wah. Everything's like chest height and maybe hip height, whatever they felt comfortable doing. Yeah. Never saw a use for the BioLite stove. The BioLite stove is a good little portable campfire. And so if you're like I can use it in the backyard. I can start a nice little tiny fire. We can roast marshmallows, and it's kind of fun to have, you know, my son and some other kids over to roast marshmallows, or, you know, it's a nice little campfire. But the whole charging system, it's worthless. The whole trying to cook on it isn't that great. Yeah, so it's not the most, I don't recommend it. It's an overpriced campfire. Batwood City. Well, they were supposed to plant seeding, but it doesn't look like they planted the seeding. It just looks like they just kind of went whoop, whoop. Just kind of tossed it around. $12-15 more a knife. Perfect. I got one right here. And this is used. I use and abuse this thing. It's a good knife. I really like it. I named my dog Mora Companion. My German Shepherd, who's in her room right now, is napping, so that she can't interfere with my live stream. Her name is Mora Companion. She's my companion. I never leave. I never go in the woods now without my Mora Companion, and that's my dog. And now she's gonna go crazy because she just heard her name like 30 times. Yeah, you don't need expensive stuff to go camping. The other reason I started my channel is because there seems to be a split, right? You have people on this side that are always in a survival situation, like their life is on the line. And then you have people that think that I can't do that stuff. I can't go camping. I can't enjoy myself because I don't have the experience. I don't have the skill set. I don't have, what it takes. And I'm trying to be right there in the middle. You don't need to know how to survive a situation. You don't need to know how to survive a negative 50-degree night if you only camp in the summer. Like, it doesn't get to negative 50 degrees in the summer. You don't need to, do the extreme survival stuff. You're mostly going to be sitting around a fire with your buddies, probably drinking, eating good, having the time of your life. You're not going to be put into those situations. Yeah, I got a Mora Bushcraft Black sitting here too. My Mora Garberg is upstairs in the camping room. Rambling, yeah. Yep, there's a lot of really good options. And then if you get the Patreon and we made our goal, you can get this knife. And this knife, you can tell the difference between an expensive knife and a cheap knife. Like, the expensive knife it holds an edge way longer, way better. It does cut better. Like, I know I had that same mentality too, where a knife is a knife. If it's sharp, it's sharp. Like, you're not fooling me, But it does cut better. It does, it's designed to cut better. Where this is thin to cut better, this is designed to be thicker and stronger and still cut just as good. And so what they use to make this cut good isn't what they use to make this cut good. And I didn't learn that until I spent the money and got something like this. Well, but yeah, you don't need this though either. What they put into this works just as well. It's just different. And that's something that I gotta specify in my videos more often, I think, is that it's not better, it's just different. Yeah, starting simple is the best way to do it, because like I was saying earlier when I was showing some of these knives, is if you look at my knives, like you look at when I do like knife talks and knife comparisons and stuff, I have a lot of $50 knives. And I bought those knives and they're all different. They all have something different to them. But I bought them so I could learn what I like and what I didn't like. And so that when I did spend the money, I knew I was getting something I liked before I even held it in my hand. Because it has the round handle that I like compared to the more square handles. It was smooth compared to the shaping of this, where I was talking earlier about how this is too thin and it doesn't line up. I like that this is more basic. I like the Scandi Vex. I like the tip being in line with the handle. I knew I liked all this stuff before I bought this knife because of other knives that I've bought, that cheaper ones that I practiced on. $2 or more knockoff from Walmart. I haven't even seen it. Yeah, it's working great. That's good. That's super good. I'm glad it's working. I was nervous all week. I was super nervous all week. But yeah, my goal is to go live for an hour. So we got 13 minutes left. I'm gonna go live for an hour, and then I'm gonna let my dog out so that she can enjoy her freedom. But I'm gonna go live. Like I said, I'm gonna go live. This is the last Sunday of this month. I'm gonna go live next the last Sunday of next month. And then as soon as I get Patreon, if I get patrons, as soon as I get like 10 or so, I'm going to go live only on Patreon. And then that's where my giveaways are going to be, and that's where all of us buddies are going to hang out. Like, we're all going to hang out, and you guys are going to be the patrons are going to be the ones that I ask all the questions and get all the answers from. And like my logo, and then it's just going to be a lot easier for me to focus on YouTube's my main place. Patreon's where I go to build the pack and get answers and answer questions and do everything. My website's going to be where all my best or favorite stuff is. And then Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, that's just going to be filler stuff. It's just going to be a place where you guys can find me and get a hold of me if you need just a one knocked off question, you know. It's just going to be filler instead of me trying to focus on all that stuff at once, which just isn't working. It's not. And so I'm breaking it into sections, and I think it's going to make it a lot better. You were lost for 5 days? Yeah. So yeah, I never go in the woods without a backpack full of stuff. I always have a backpack because there was a story of this guy. He was in a tree stand. He was on state land. My battery's gonna die. I might not even make it for the whole hour. But the state land he was on, he was hunting. So it's state hunting land. He was 100 yards from the highway, pointed away from the highway, and yeah, battery died. So you guys can still hear me. So I'm going to have to redo this. But he was 100 yards from the highway, and he was posted up. It's a podcast now, guys. I had planned this the whole time. I was switching over from a live stream to a podcast. But he's 100 yards off the highway, and he's hunting. And this kid comes in, and he's got a rifle and nothing else. He just has his rifle. And this kid comes in, he's about 150 yards into the woods, and then all of a sudden he starts wandering around, and you could tell he was in a panic. You could tell he was lost. He got turned around. Everything was looking the same. And the guy finally yelled out, and he's like, "Hey, the highway's over there," you know. And of course, the kid, being a punk kid, he was all like, "Oh, I knew where it was the whole time." He's all like, "I'm just trying to find something else," you know. And yeah, so then he wanders a little bit more, and then he starts heading towards the highway. But it doesn't take much to get lost. Like 150 yards in, and he didn't know where he was. He didn't know where he was going. He didn't know where he was coming from. And yeah, so swapped out the battery for you guys. So it doesn't take much to get lost. And that's kind of where I was going with that. And you never know what's going on. Yeah, I knew needing a battery bank. This is the first live. I'm learning. My camera, it goes. So when the battery gets halfway, it's shut off. And then it died and it shut off again. And so I'm going to have to hook up my Anchor battery bank to it for the next time. The last Sunday of next month. Yeah, we got 8 minutes to go. I couldn't make it for 10 more minutes. Garbage bag shelters, those work. But you can bring a Gerber all-weather blanket. It works a little bit better, in my opinion, because it reflects. So you can put it down on the floor or on the ground and use it that way, or you can build a shelter out of it, and if you have a fire, it'll reflect the heat onto you. And I think it just has more options than the garbage bags. My favorite folding knife? I don't know, probably the Ontario Rat one. It's I don't really get a lot of folding knives because I don't. Yeah, I try to use folding knives for like cooking, like food processing and stuff. I EDC a Leatherman Wave. I like my multi-tool, and so I'd never really had a use for or to buy another folding knife, and so I don't really have a lot of experience with a lot of different folding knives, but the Ontario Rat 1 will cut a steak really well. That full flat grind on steak works beautifully. Yeah, the battery bank, I think I can hook that up. I got that Anchor battery bank that I take with me into the woods. I got a video on all that. But yeah, I can hook that up and set it here. You like the website? Yeah. The ice cream. The ice cream has to go. Yeah. I didn't like that. Caroline didn't mind it. The son liked it. Truck Life Productions, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, the stuff that I put on there though is stuff that either I personally have used and liked, or you guys have recommended. And you guys recommend that. I'm trying to find sleeping bags to put on there. I have a military module sleep system, which you guys see me use all the time because it's all I have. And I want something that's going to be smaller and lighter and more compact and not take up so much room in my backpack. And I've been asking all over for advice, and everybody says the military module sleep system. And I was like, I have that. I want something lighter and more compact, and there just must not be anything because that's what I hear. And so I'm trying to find sleeping bags to put on there so that I can personally buy them. Yeah. See, the contractor bags are good with the grabber because you can fill them full of leaves and stuff, and you can lay on them with the Reflectix, and so I think they add. I don't rely on them. I use them as they're kind of like a comfort item, I guess you would call it, like a comfort item. And so I can use them in conjunction with the Mylar or the poncho or the whatever. And it's for me, instead of being like my shelter, it's a way to make my shelter more comfortable, more enjoyable. I know, I'm hungry too. It's lunchtime. It's almost 11. Steak and eggs. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube's a lot of work. That's what I've learned. It's a ton of work. And there's a lot of hidden expenses like microphones and extra cameras, and OBS is free, so I don't have to worry about that, but websites and all that. I'm trying to make this be it probably will never be my full-time job, but if it could just give me some money so that the weekends I can afford to go out, like I can afford to go out every weekend, that'd be awesome. That'd be so much fun, just knowing that I can camp and not have to worry about the girlfriend getting mad at the money I'm blowing. or the gear, if I can afford the gear to review and do on here, and then I can get camping gear and it's self-sufficient, and I don't have to worry about the girlfriend yelling at me for spending a lot of money on knives and stoves and stuff. Yep. It's, I don't know. The thing is when it comes to a survival situation, a lot of people like to focus on the survival situation. The ability to avoid that situation is usually high. Like, I know people that have, I know old men that have gone to the woods and hunted and fished and camped and, and they've never been in those situations. It doesn't mean you shouldn't plan for them. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be ready for them. But there's usually a way that you can comfortably put yourself into that situation as practice, and then know what you need to carry to be as most comfortable as possible. Like I have a to-go system trifecta that I carry with me wherever I go, and so it's basically just a bigger, better grabber all-weather blanket. And that comes with me all the time because I know that I can make a shelter with a floor and a lean-to together with the Mylar. And so it's going to keep me up off the ground a little bit. And with the Reflectix, it's going to reflect heat from the bottom and the top. And so basically you can make my own little oven. And yeah, and so I've put myself in these situations so that I know how this is going to work and how that's going to work, and so that if I do get lost or if something does happen, I'm as comfortable as possible. And I try to base everything I do, I try to base on comfort, because if you're comfortable, it means you're safe, and if you're safe, it means you're not fighting for your life, you know. And so if you can focus on comfort and you can be as comfortable as you possibly can in those situations, everything else kind of just takes care of itself. And so comfort is my main focus most of the time. Do I flip or sell any? I don't. I don't. I would like to, but the problem is a lot of the stuff I don't use is junk. And so nobody's gonna want it, and I wouldn't feel good selling it to somebody. You know, just like that BioLite stove. It's like $130 stove. Like I spent a lot of money on that thing. And when it comes to actually using it, it's a portable fireplace. It's a tiny little portable fireplace. You can buy much cheaper options that are going to do the same thing. And it's just I don't feel like I can sell that to somebody. You know what I mean? Yep, I agree with you 100%. Try and survive. Yep, I agree with you. And I do prepare, and I am a prepper. I don't put it on the channel very much, but I do have a closet full of storage. I do have canned goods. I do have all that stuff, so that if something does happen, and it doesn't even have to be like a government collapse or something, but like if I get snowed in during the winter, if I get snowed into my home, good. It's a vacation. Right? If a tornado comes and takes out my house and all that's left is my family in the basement, I have bags of gear that we're gonna have. They're not really bug out bags. They could be considered bug out bags, but they're stuff we can have, you know. So if a tornado comes and wipes out my whole town, you know, I'll just set up a tent in the backyard and camp that for as long as it takes for us to rebuild, you know. I'm not screwed, you know. Or, you know, I have like a credit card with that I don't touch. I have that in the bag as well. And so even if a tornado comes and wipes everything out, I have my tent so I can go camping if that's where I want to go. If we need a break from camping, we can go stay at a hotel. We can do different things. And so I'm not ever in a situation where I'm just like giving up's the only option. Like I have lots of options. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That's right. That is right. Bushcraft garage sale at some point. Yeah, I could do that. I could have a garage sale. It'd be nicer to have like an auction, I guess. And so like if I wouldn't feel as guilty that way, you know. Like if I said here's a BioLite stove for $100, I'm gonna lose $30 or like $80. I still would feel bad. But if I was like, here, we're going to start the auction off at $5, and then it worked its way up to $80, and then I knew that the person who got it felt like they were getting $80 worth of value in it, instead of me trying to sell it for that. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. I could never be a businessman. I'd be broke all the time. But yeah, when it comes to being prepared and preparedness, I put myself in the scenarios. That's why I did BattleBox for so long. I did BattleBox for 3 years, 2 years on YouTube, and then 1 year before YouTube. And I liked it because it put me in those scenarios, you know, like the nuclear attack box. I had never thought about that ever. Never ever had I ever thought about it. And then once I got that box and I started getting some of this stuff, I started researching it, and now I'm kind of ready. Like if North Korea, which they aren't, North and South Korea just became best friends and life's great now. But you know, at the time, that was something that we were worried about, and it was something that kind of was in my mind. And so I was all like, what would I do? You know, and I got ready for that. Just so that if it did happen, I wasn't completely just shit out of luck, you know. 10 days without internet, you lucky guy. Yeah, I tried to take a break, but like I'm trying to build Wolfpack Woodcraft up. And so I'm trying to make it the best that it can be, like I said, so that I can at least be self-sufficient, and that I can at least have a hobby that I can do all the time and that I can help people with. Like, camping is one of those things that people try to get away and escape, and I try to do that too. Like last winter I did go camping, but I didn't take you guys with me. Partly because I was worried about how my camera was going to handle it, because I do have expensive cameras. I don't have a GoPro. I spent all my camera funds and DSLRs so that you guys can have high definition videos when I do make videos. So now I can't afford a GoPro, but I still go out and I still relax and I still have fun. But it'd be nice if I could have it be self-sufficient, so like I said, Caroline doesn't chew my head off when I'm buying an expensive tent. You know. Do I carry a Bible? I used to carry a Bible. I used to have like this little tiny Bible, and I would carry it with me, but then it got soaking wet and it got ruined. And they do make waterproof Bibles, but they're like very expensive. They're like $80 just for like the Old Testament, and then another $80 for like the New Testament and stuff. And I don't know. I get the Bible on my phone, but I try not to use my phone when I'm out there either. That's why I got different cameras. Because, you know, everybody's been sucked in. I don't have my phone here because it would suck me in. Where you go and you get a text message. And so you go to check the text message. Not a big deal. But then all of a sudden you're on Facebook. And then all of a sudden you're looking at something else. And then all of a sudden the rabbit hole. And then all of a sudden it's been an hour. And you're still looking at your phone when all you want to do is check a text message. And so by having separate cameras instead of using my phone, I can put my camera, or not my camera, I can put my phone away. I can put it in the tent, and I can go a whole day without looking at it and not getting sucked into it. And so that's a trick too. If you want to enjoy your time out camping and you don't want to get sucked into your phone, make sure that everything is separate. Don't rely on your phone for stuff, except at night. If you want to sit down and read something, you can sit down, you can read off your phone, and then if you do get sucked into Facebook or something, you're going to bed anyway. A lot of sluttering. Now, let me check I should be getting off here soon. My stream health is perfect though, so it must be your internet. But yeah, my hour's up. It's looking better. It's looking way better. Yeah, it's looking way better. I can't believe the difference that a few months has made. Like, well, not a few months, been a long time, but you know, like they went from like wanting to nuke America, and you know, North Korea was like a big threat, and then all of a sudden they're getting along and everybody's happy, and you know, like what changed? $80 for the complete version. Yeah, leaving your phone in the truck, because you get sucked in every time. You get sucked in. But I'm gonna yeah, this was fun. It's a lot of fun, and I didn't get any trolls or haters, so that's a good thing. But like I said, I'm gonna try to do this at the end of every month. So last Sunday every month I'm gonna go live answer questions, comments, concerns, whatever. And then as soon as I get like 10 or so patrons, I'm gonna go live specifically on there. I'm not gonna go live on my channel anymore. This is gonna be replaced with a video again, because I think that's what's gonna bring the most value to YouTube. I know that you guys like the videos of me talking about things and showing off different things, and so that's what I'm gonna focus on from now on. So there's that. If you have any comments or concerns or ideas, especially when it comes to sleeping bags for this right here, I'll be happy to put them in here. And if you are looking for something that you can rely on, that you can trust, this is a good place to start. At least I won't say that I have all the answers in here, but it's a good place to start. And if you have sleeping bag ideas, put them in here, because I want a smaller, lighter sleeping bag. So if you have any ideas, leave it in the comment section down below. Like as always, make sure to leave any questions or knowledge in that comment section. I want to make sure that we have a really good community here, and that we're helping each other, and that people know that they can, at the end of my videos, they can go in that comment section, and the knowledge and the experiences don't end when the video ends. And that's my goal. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all so much for hanging out and the positive feedback. And I'm sorry that my camera died and we had to deal with that, and the other issues that happened, but hopefully next time it'll be that much smoother. I learned from this experience, and our next experience should be a lot better. So thank you all so much for stopping in. Thank you all so much for everything you do for the channel, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.